It's Gem City Tonight with Andrew Mitakides, featuring music director Aimee James. Tonight's guest, radio personality from Mix 1077, Gina Ferraro. From Safe House Studios, Hayley Carson. And comedian Mike Wells. And now, here's your host, Andrew Mitakides.
Woo, you can clap. We can get, there we go. Thank you. Thank you for that. Oh, we just keep going. Oh, right. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Gem City Tonight. I am amazingly still your host, Andrew Mitakides. This is fantastic. This is, what, 16? We're almost done with the season. That's crazy. But it's fall, so you know what that means. Pumpkin spice lattes. Totally kidding. No, not going to happen. No. I have a pair of Ugg boots and a little nice North Face. That's so basic. Please tell me you don't do that.
No, I actually don't.
Okay,
you know
good.
I don't.
All right. I know you do, but that's beside the point. Yep, looking right at you. All right. So anyway, but that means it's football season. Yes, football is back, finally. From Pee Wee to the pros and everything in between, we get to run around with a little pigskin and have some fun. Are you a football fan?
Huge, massive.
All right, like college or pros?
Both.
Nice.
Sunday.
OH?
OHIO, baby.
There it is. OH?
IO!
That's what I'm talking about. And just keep in mind, everyone on Sundays, now we have a reason to drink again instead of just girls' brunch and less mimosas. But we as Americans, we love football. And it's the hits and the cheerleaders and the weird sideline reporters, especially if your name is Booger McFarland. Not making it up, that's really that guy's name. Now, a lot of us watch all that, but there's a large percentage that just want to see Tom Brady run around in football pants. Oh, did you stick your tongue out at Tom Brady?
I hate Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, if you're watching, do not have a fan
Not
here.
interested.
This year is actually 100 years for the National Football League, and it's really interesting because in the early days, football games looked more like a scene from Thunderdome than it does now. In fact, in 1905, the Chicago Tribune called the college football season the Death Harvest. Not making that up. This gives a whole new meaning to, wow, we really killed the other team. Zing. Oh. So, even though we call it by the same name, football was an entirely different sport. I mean, there was no forward pass, there was no helmets, there was no neutral zone, basically no rules. It was like the Outback. Crikey, no rules. I just made an Outback reference. You want a bloomin' onion now, or is that just me?
Nope.
I think actually when you got started, they gave you a leather helmet, spikes, and brass knuckles. I think that was a part of the contract when you signed up, to beat each other. I mean, the most common actual play was called a flying wedge, which I know sounds like an appetizer at Applebee's, but it's actually a play. Even Teddy Roosevelt, it got so bad. Teddy Roosevelt got together a group of insiders from Harvard, Yale, and Princeton to address the brutality that was in football. Yeah, this was a president who was the NYPD police commissioner and cleaned up one of the most corrupt departments and one of the nastiest cities in the world. And this guy puts out a press release. A man who killed a bear with his bare hands put out a press release that the brutality in football was so bad. He's like tweeting, guys, yo, we got to do something about this. First off, that's A, how Teddy Roosevelt sounds, and B, Teddy Roosevelt tweets. Teddy Roosevelt's Twitter handle, @RoughRiders.
Oh.
What? That's not a 90s rap group. Is it the 90s? Anyway, much like a lot of talk today, people feared the game would be, boring or unwatchable. But it didn't stop Howard Cosell from showing up in the 70s pretty hammered to every Monday Night Football game and being like, it's gonna be a great contest tonight. That's my only Howard Cosell impression. You are unamused. Anyway, the helmets followed, and then TV, and then Joe Namath in a fur coat, guaranteeing they would win the Super Bowl. Super Bowl III, by the way. But we as fans love the excitement, and we love, obviously, the hits, and we want to make sure that they're safe as possible. We totally get that here at Gem City Tonight. But as many of you regular viewers know, I actually played rugby for years. And I actually play here in Dayton for the Dayton Area Rugby Club. And granted, it's not much different than normal football. In fact, we need to learn to tackle properly, and it's very athletic, and it's fun to watch. The only difference is we're done drinking and hitting each other during the game. as opposed to when it's done. And I don't think a lot of us get arrested. Now that I've said that's going to happen. But not the other Dayton area guys. They're fantastic. They let me play just because they're like, oh, here, let Hollywood go play. Let him go play. Oh, he's so cute. Give him the ball. Give him the ball. I run around. Technically, this is kind of a helmet. Does this count?
That does count.
That does count, okay. So, at least they're not as crazy as hockey players. It's true. Of course, I'm a Jacksonville Jaguars fan, so I have to be crazy. I'm not. Are you a Bengals?
Saints and Dallas.
What?
Yeah.
No. Explain that one to me.
Both. I love Drew Brees, obviously.
Okay.
And Dallas, I've always been a Dallas fan, but I especially love them with Zeke now, so because he's from OSU.
Yeah,
So.
but he's not playing. He's in Cabo somewhere having body shots.
No.
He's not actually playing.
He's
He's
not
like
playing?
off. He's off at Cabo Wabo with Sammy Hagar.
Oh my God, but I love him, and I've always loved Dallas. I'm a '90s girl.
Oh, so you're the Aikman, Irving kind of
got it.
Smith group. Okay. So, and the other thing that drives me batty is fantasy football. Do you do fantasy football?
I'm going to this year.
Oh, God. I don't get it. These are grown men. They get so worked up about literally something that's called a fantasy. And seriously, they plan, they read, they get the books, they get the apps,
They bet.
trash talk. It's called yeah, well, there's money involved in it, I'll give you that. But it's literally called a fantasy. And it's horribly named. This isn't a fantasy. A fantasy is sitting on a desert island with Angelina Jolie riding a mini pony, having a mojito. That's a fantasy. This is not making sure Joe Flacco throws 3 touchdowns so you can stick it to Stewart in accounting. That's not fantasy football. It's not. That being said, I hope my fantasy football team does really well this year. Yeah, I'm awful at it, so I might as well just set $20 on fire and pour some scotch and watch Jacksonville lose to every team we play.
Oh my gosh.
Speaking of crappy football, let's turn to Michigan. Because Michigan sucks. So, OH.
I-O, baby.
Thank you. All right. A woman in Michigan working as a loan office actually won the state lotto. You heard this story?
No.
A woman proceeded to do what we've all wanted to do, and actually, in fact, Johnny Paycheck was the only other man in the world to have the chutzpah to tell his boss off. She went into work the next day and she decided to, I don't know how to say this. She took a dump on his desk. Yeah, that's real follow-through and really hating your job. Oh, I don't have a joke for this. I just wanted to tell the fact that someone walked into their boss's office and did this. So, kudos to you. If you're ever in Dayton, come on the show. Moving on, I had the privilege of heading to New York recently and seeing one of my inspirations and fellow Hampton Sydney Tiger, hence the tie, Stephen Colbert in The Late Show, which was an absolute blast. He was a consummate gentleman and an amazing artist. But that's not the point of the story. It was getting there, as we all know. Air travel is the real gem. And I don't know if you've experienced the great adventures of the TSA Justice League with your favorite characters like Handsy Man, Long Stare Woman, Invasive Finger Boy. Some of your favorite characters. They all wear capes, by the way. Okay, please, TSA, know that I'm joking, and because they really don't like to joke at their job, especially when you're a D-list TV host hungover wearing more bracelets than a defunct Golden Girl. They don't like it. Not that I would know what that's like. But I would. But keep in mind, they are working, and they're just doing their jobs, while all of us are trying to get through security to go to Cancun to have a cocktail made in our mouth. They're really working hard. And if you think the TSA is a job, it's just a little bit more than just pulling out laptops and iPads and large cans of big sexy hair. Everyone at home is just like, how do you know? I know. Anyway, we got around to actually talking to one of them. He was telling us some of the crazy stuff that he's done, and he's pulled out, and so forth. But I actually decided to get a hold of my staff and wanted them to see what are the top 10 craziest things that TSA has pulled out. And shockingly enough, there's a list. Here we go. Number 10, a zombie apocalypse hatchet. That's 10. Number 9, a bag of snakes. Samuel L. Jackson was not around for comments, so I'm just gonna, who put these snakes on this plane? It had to be done. I had to do the joke. Number 8, a baby carrier complete with machete for the baby who needs to open its own food. Number 7, a giant pair of scissors, so when you're going to that, opening of a Circuit City, you are prepared. Number 6, a pair of matching tuxedo cufflinks painted like hand grenades. That doesn't seem that weird, but you'd think mini hand grenades would set off some kind of alarm, you'd think. Number 5, a 120 live tank round of ammunition. Just the ammunition. 120. Why? How do you even in the bag? You're just like, honey, no. Take the soup Kretz box, get that out of here. I don't need the toothpaste. The ammo, put the ammo in here though. What? Number 4, shoe knives for all of you Bondavillians out there. Number 3, a chainsaw. Which, by the way, if your job requires you to go anywhere where you need a chainsaw, get a new job, please. You just buy it in the city where you go. A chainsaw? Number 2, 2 full propane tanks when you need to barbecue on the plane, when you want to just smoke some ribs. And the number 1 strangest one is 3 pounds of cocaine stuffed into raw meat. I guess that gives a whole new meaning to stuffing your meat, huh? All right, we got a great show. Stick around. But first, Aimee James, everybody. Oh, that was a dicey monologue. I think as the time goes on, we're just getting a little bit more. You're like, you know what? Let's just do it.
Just say it.
Well, let's just do it. Just wing it. We got a great show. Do you know who's on the show tonight?
I do not.
We've got Gina from 1077. Mm-hmm. She's on the show.
Love her.
Hayley Carson from Safe House Studios.
Also love her.
Yeah. Then you got a little connection there. We're gonna have to talk about.
It's so weird.
It is. It's nice. And then who do we got? Oh, that's right. Mike Wells is going to come in and regale us with the Craigslist book club. But before we launch into this, as you know, we had an event here in Dayton recently, and we've lost 9 lives in the Oregon District. We've talked about it on the last episode, and we'll talk about it a little bit tonight. But one of the things I did want to point out is not just the outpouring for the city that's happened here, which has been immense and lovely. A lot of the outpouring by our family members, a lot of people on the staff have called to see if we're okay, yourself, Craig, Lowell, Ricky, Kathy, just to make sure that we're all okay. Because that period where you couldn't get a hold of them was very intense and very tragic. But one of the things that I want to highlight is I have people called me, like my cousin Patrick, who lives in DC, who called me, wanted to make sure I was okay. Thank you, Patrick. And got a hold of me recently and was like, how do I get a Dayton Strong shirt? Because they are everywhere. So one of the things we're going to talk to you about are these. Gina's going to point out that we have these. These are from iHeart. They're down at Heart. They're down at everywhere. Multiple types. In fact, there's a couple of Gem City Strong shirts that we're going to be getting. But it's one of the things we're going to talk about it. But when we come back, we're going to get into a little bit of fun with Mike Wells. So we'll be right back with more Gem City Tonight.
I'm like 50 years older. Like, I feel so good.
I want to make sure that all of them kind of align.
Table for 2.
Hey, Ben.
There's always somebody who can be there for you. Call 1-800-273-TALK if you need help.
I think at this point I could probably play that.
I want to see you try.
That's never going to happen. So we're going to launch you to, oh, we're over here. Hey, what's up? So as we do almost every episode, we always do a Dayton fact. So we're going to do one from our ladies, obviously, Dayton Unknown. They provide us our facts. Thank you, ladies. This one's fun because I'm a magic guy. I don't know if you knew that. I love magic. So this one, Harry Houdini performed twice in the Dayton area. The first performance was in 1916, and he performed an escape act from a cask of beer at the Old Brewing Company. Brewing? I just said brewing. Brewing. Where are they? What's up? The second performance was in 1925, and he escaped from a wooden box built by the NCR Carpenters. So there you go. There's your Dayton Unknown fact. So I love me some Harry Houdini. All right. So this next segment, buckle up, kids. A great guy and fantastic comedian in town, Mike Wells, and I have gotten together to do one of his great segments, the Craigslist Book Club. Check it out. Welcome to the Craigslist Book Club. I'm joined by comedian Mike Wells. Mike, I believe we have some interesting Craigslist things to read.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys know what the casual encounter section is in Craigslist, but it is pretty intense.
Quite.
So we have some readings we'd like to share with you. I'd like to start off. The first one's called Revving Any Lady, Man for Woman in Hoover. Is there any women out there who has a petting pumple revving fetish? Or does the sound of revving a car make her turned on? If you want to exchange numbers and listen to me rev my garage car, if that gets you going, hit me up.
Quite a interesting one.
He is quite the gentleman.
He is. He was very direct, but that's interesting. That's a new one for me.
I mean, personally, that cars turn me on.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yes.
All right, I might be able to beat you. I have Logan Masters or A. Abel Tex. Need a beach? Stop by if you need to warm up with a beach this morning. I'm hosting near Kettering and Centerville. Pretend to stop by and give me an estimate, and I will work on your big tool. That's pretty.
As a craftsman, that's all I want.
That's what that is. That's
craftsman tool. All right, my next one's called Strange Fantasy. This may sound, man for woman. This may sound weird, but I have a huge fantasy to watch a woman urinate. I prefer to watch up close. I'm just an average guy, apparently, with a kinky fantasy. Any naughty woman willing to fill my kinky desires? Maybe one or two.
I'm thinking more than one or two, probably.
That's just odd.
Out there.
Yeah, it just reminds me of Gatorade, like the yellow Gatorade.
I can no longer drink Gatorade now. Thank you for that.
That's why I said it.
That's done for me. All right, I've got one. UW Spunk Rag. Why did I get this one? For all you cougar men, gay, straight, or bi, I have a proposition for you. Recently, I have helped a friend from the West Side accomplish one of his fantasies, which is having a UW football jersey covered in the essence of cougar.
Sounds like a perfume.
It gets better. He is submissive and wants to be reminded how much more superior and dominant WSU men over UW, and I'm quoting, Fuskies.
Fuskies.
Yes, Fuskies. That's actually Fuskies.
Fuskies.
What I'm looking for is someone who helped me cover the jersey. How it works. Show up at your place. Turn on whatever you would like. And when you're ready, aim at the jersey. Please be a student or undergrad. Doesn't matter.
There's qualifications.
There's qualifications. Hit me up if you're interested. Why would you even put qualifications in?
I don't know. Sometimes people need those fantasies to be real.
This is true, yeah.
Undergrad or graduate degree.
Are you a psych major? Come on now.
All right, my final one I'd like to read. Don't remember the title of it, but here we go. Ever wonder what it's like to wear a leg cast or an arm cast? Experience for 2 hours, 2 days, or 2 months. Definitely an attention getter. Okay. Professionally applied and safe removal process. Feel the attention you get when you're out in public of just the cessation of not being able to move your legs inside that cast. Long leg cast, walking cast, long arm cast. Do one or all. I supply everything. This may seem odd. Yes, it is.
yes, it is.
This may seem odd to some, but many are taking up on the offer.
How do you?
I broke my arm in it. Not one time did I want attention for that.
Do you sign it?
Yeah.
Is that a thing? Is that how you pick up numbers?
Probably.
Well, that has been Gem City tonight's edition of the Craigslist Book Club. We'll be right back.
On August 11th, my brother Max wrote these words and hanged himself. He was only 15, and he had his whole life ahead of him, but he was tormented and bullied until, hopeless and alone, he took his own life.
Though Max's pain is gone, the pain of his family will last a lifetime. Don't let this tragedy repeat itself. If you or someone you know is speaking or thinking about suicide, talk to an adult.
What wouldn't you do to stop it?
Welcome back. My next guest is a fantastic person and a great friend. She's an actress, she's on the radio, I think she fights crime at night, she does everything. But I'll let her explain. Put your hands together for Gina Ferraro. No, of course, please. Seriously, I feel like we're going to the Met Gala.
Oh, well, you've got on a suit and tie.
Well, this is my uniform for sitting back here. So
I like it.
So thank you for being here.
I outdid you, I guess.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I'm fine. If we can switch chairs anytime you want, just let me know.
Oh, well, yeah, let's do it.
Oh, all right. this could get interesting real fast. So I only named like a quarter of the things you do. Actress, radio personality.
Fights crime.
Fights crime.
Yeah.
So let's start with, we'll get to the other fun stuff later.
Okay.
So actress.
Right.
So obviously many people know you from 107.7.
Yes.
But how did you lead up to radio? Was it acting before, or what? Give me the cliff notes. What's the backstory?
Yeah. Well, I went to Wright State.
Okay.
And graduated from Wright State in '03. And did I just age myself?
You're fine.
Okay. And
this
while
isn't
I was,
on, you're fine.
oh, good. This is commercial break, right?
Yeah, this is, yeah.
And while I was at Wright State, I did some acting, commercials, industrials, which were like educational videos for, P&G that are just in Cincinnati.
Were you in the CAC building?
Yes, I did a lot of CAC
Oh,
stuff.
you and
But
me
I wasn't.
both.
But I wasn't a theater major or anything.
Okay.
I was mass communications, but I did have a lot of classes in there. So to answer your question, I've never been asked that before. I actually did do acting first, but after I graduated from college, actually had a job before I graduated at then Clear Channel, which is iHeart now.
Mm-hmm.
So that was an internship that turned into them hiring me. So I was just doing it to get credit and like, oh, radio's fun, And I ended up loving it, and that's what happened. That was 15 years ago. So
you might stop dating or something.
I'm sorry. I thought we were still in commercial.
It's fine. All the viewers at home guarantee I'm older than you, so it's fine.
Oh, good. Yes.
So what? I mean, you've been in front of the camera, behind a microphone. Mm-hmm. If you had to pick one, and you can say both.
Where are you going with this?
Yeah,
okay.
you can say both.
What do I like better?
Yeah.
Is that your question?
I mean, that's like asking if you like beer or vodka better. It's kind
vodka.
of the same thing. So yeah, I knew I liked you.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Yeah, it's different because with radio, you know, we can show up in our pajamas. I mean, we don't have to be camera ready.
That was one of my questions.
Was it?
How early do you have to get to the station?
Yeah, well, I get up at 4 a.m. So, you know, our first break is 5:20. So yeah, that's pretty early to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I'm used to it.
True, because you've been doing it for.
Well, I've been mornings.
Yeah.
For Mix 107.7, I guess we're going on 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, but I did mornings in Chicago, and I did mornings in Dayton prior to going to Chicago. So
where all have you been on the air?
Okay, 103.9, alt 103.9 now, but it was 103.9 the X when I was on it. Remember X Fest?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Those days, that's when I was on. That was my first station ever. Yeah.
X Fest.
Then I went to Channel 945, which is now Channel 999. From there, I went to Z93, which there is no more Z93. From there, I went to reporting on WHIO, and from HIO, I moved to Chicago. And then I was on in Chicago for 5 years on WGN, US 99.5.
So
my whole resume here.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's but this has always been what you've done and always been a passion of yours.
Yeah, I mean, I love radio. I fell into something really fun, and and I've just always, I feel like I've gotten pretty good at it. So
yeah, you are pretty good at it.
Well, you know, it's fun. It came naturally. So, you know, if I'd fallen into something that was math related, I wouldn't have gotten very good at it.
Why do you think I sit back here? I mean, seriously, I read my phone number and get a nosebleed. So this is what I do.
Yeah. So then I did a lot of TV in Chicago too, and then I got a call about the position on Mix 107.7 in 2013, and that's what brought me back. So
nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we go to commercial, so you show up in your pajamas, or is there?
I show up in comfortable clothes.
I'm painting the picture for those at home.
Yoga pants and a t-shirt.
God, I wish. Oh, I wish I could do it.
Tennis shoes, no makeup, hair in a ponytail. It's great. Unless we have something that, you know, is going on.
Because all of our viewers are picturing you like this right now.
Oh yeah, I don't look like this when I'm on the air. So, only for you.
Oh, ooh, I like that.
What is it? Hollywood 007?
724, yeah.
That's his Instagram name.
Which no guest or anybody's ever asked me why.
Really?
That's why what that is.
I just assumed that you're Hollywood and you're also part James Bond.
But people don't put that together. My birthday's actually July 24th, so 7/24.
Okay.
I was a huge James Bond fan.
Okay.
And my nickname's been Hollywood for ever.
Are you a Cancer?
I'm a Leo.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
Leo.
what are you?
I'm a Sag.
Oh,
You
God.
fire
All right,
sign.
this interview's over. We're going to commercial. You know what? We're going to commercial. We'll be right back with Gina.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's okay.
Sorry.
You're all right.
Sorry.
It's okay, Gabe.
All right, we're back with Gina from 107.7 and pretty much everything you've ever heard in your life. If it hasn't been my voice, which it probably hasn't. One of the things that I love is that you don't just do the morning show. You'll go out and you'll do on locations. You'll do a bunch of other stuff. The question I always love to ask, who's your favorite celebrity crush, best guy you've ever met, best female you've ever met?
Oh, gosh.
Because I watch your picture and you're everywhere.
So wait, my favorite celebrity I've ever met? Yeah. Oh, that's so hard.
Because we're totally going to tag him in this, so.
Oh, you are?
Oh, why not?
Well, I love Marlon Wayans. He's my boy. And one of the nicest celebrities Mark McGrath.
Okay.
Really nice, from Sugar Ray. I once was late to his meet and greet, and I was like, starting to get upset. And I was like, no. And so he like saw me through a window or something, I don't know, and he came running out and he was like, hey, we could still get a picture? I was like, oh my God, I love you. He was so nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so he's a good guy. Most are really pretty cool. I save the horror stories I delete them from my memory.
We'll do that off air.
Yeah, we'll do that off air because it ruins every movie or song you ever hear of them. And then
True.
Yeah.
It's
and
kind of a
I don't want to ruin it for you.
Oh, I've had some ruined for me, don't worry.
Yeah, right.
But I've also had. It's nice to meet the person and be like, you know what, you really are that nice in person.
Right. Yeah. No, it is.
Yeah.
It is nice.
I've had a couple of those, so those are good. So, for those who don't know, for our viewers that don't live in Ohio, your station is actually in the Oregon District.
It is. Yes. We're in the same building as Wiley's Comedy Club.
Yes. So. And we love Wiley's. That was actually Don was our first guest, but. I can't imagine or try to paint for our viewers what it was like to go back to work or what it was the essence of the Oregon District after everything that's happened.
So remember, I go to work really early.
Yeah.
So I'm driving in, at 5 a.m. and I also live in South Park, and I used to live in the Oregon District. So, the location itself is just near and dear to me anyway. But so it's a 2-minute drive into work. But it was different that first morning back because there was like 500 news crews lining 5th Street and satellite vans from Las Vegas and the Today Show and national CBS and, guys that you're used to seeing on Good Morning America and just all lining the streets of our hometown, of the Oregon District. So, while I guess part of it was necessary to just show what was going on, it was very overwhelming, and I'm going, I just want to get to work. Can you get out of the way here? And stuff was like taped off. In fact, we ran into each other down there.
Just before the candlelight that night on Sunday.
Yeah, that's right, right before the vigil. And, it wasn't easy for us to get into work at first.
Right.
So, but, the police were great, and you just would tell them where we work, and we've got the credentials, so we got in. But yeah, it was a lot. And it was busy every day. We'd like to go down and have lunch in the Oregon District, and it was just crazy. From protesters to supporters to just people looky-loos just looking around, wanting to be a part of it. It was a lot.
What was it like once CNN left, CBS left? There was a lingering.
Yeah.
That now it's us. Now it's Dayton coming back together. What have you seen, or what have you encountered?
I feel like it was a relief once they left. Actually, I in a way felt like, oh God, we can let us deal with this because you guys aren't really helping us.
Right, we can get back to
deal with
us.
this. You're not helping us heal. You're just reporting, which I understand that. I work in broadcasting, so I get it. It needed to be, talked about, and. I just felt like a sort of relief once they left. It was nice. It was once the president left town, that next day, Thursday, there were still a couple, and then Friday, maybe a few left, but then that next Monday, they were all gone, and it was like, okay, now we can start to rebuild, Yeah, so a lot of chalk on the sidewalks, I feel like, that's kind of been a standard for the past week. Some really cool messages written in chalk, which I like. A lot of the Post-its, But yeah, you saw the evolution of it changing, because then we got a lot of rain.
Right.
Remember? And so they had to take that memorial and sort of quarantine it off, the tribute area.
Right.
So yeah, it's been a wild ride.
I was actually headed to work Monday. I was headed driving to Columbus and had you guys on, and you guys did a beautiful tribute. You guys were just so heartfelt and
that was a hard show
and genuine. You could tell in your voices and Jeff's and everyone else. It was, but you guys did a beautiful job.
Well, thank you.
So, and I do want to point out that you guys are doing these.
Our hashtag Dayton Strong shirts.
So we picked these up. Then there's still a ton of them left. I don't know.
Yeah, we have some left, and we're gonna get another order in too. So just contact us at iHeartRadio. You can call the front desk if you want, 937-224. 1137. Just ask if we still have them, and yeah, we'll try to get you one for sure.
100% of the proceeds go to the...
100% to the Dayton Foundation.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, final question I ask everybody.
Oh.
If you're going anywhere, where's your Zen place? Where you going in Dayton?
Gosh.
Hanging out, eating, what are you doing? Where are you going?
It would be the Woodland Cemetery.
Okay.
I know
that's a first for the show. That's a first.
I love that place.
You have to continue.
Okay, this is where like the Wright brothers are buried.
True.
And a lot of famous Dayton names. It's an old school cemetery, positioned right off of UD.
Mm-hmm.
I think Hickory Barbecue and Grill, where that is on Brown.
That's one of the entrances,
where you
yeah.
turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's one of them. And I just take my dogs there. I go for walks. A lot of the, I guess gravestones might have like a seat or a chair, and you can just kind of sit there. And I don't know, I feel like death is a part of life, and it's sort of, if I'm having a down day, I like to go there and just, be happy to be alive. And I think a lot of it's interesting too to read the headstones and be like, wow, this is the mother, and this is the, oh my gosh, the son died so young, and wondering what their lives were like.
Right.
And not focus so much about yourself, and kind of get yourself out of your head. So I really like going there, and that was a first. So
yeah, that was the first, and a deep, fantastic answer.
Right.
All right, I stand corrected. I stand corrected. I want to thank you.
That is a good place of Zen, though.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I actually live kind of up the hill from it, off of Wilmington, and to drive, sometimes to cut through.
It's the best view in Dayton.
It really
is. If you've never been there, you have to go.
If you've never been, you've got to go.
Right.
It's fantastic. And it's and the gates are always open.
Yeah.
And you can just
I think
get
it
in.
might close at like 8 or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. You'll have to check.
I mean, there's specific hours for it, but
right.
generally through the day, it's always open. You can walk through it.
Yeah.
All right. That's deep, and
it.
that's a first. All
hey.
Right. I want to thank you so much for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
You are awesome.
You. Yes.
Perfect.
You are. Love the hair, by the way.
This is harder than Chinese algebra. You're
it's
welcome.
really good.
Well, all right. We'll be right back when we're Gym City tonight.
I used to feel alone, awkward, and self-conscious. I felt as if I was walking down an endless road leading nowhere. I suffered from deep depression, and I couldn't shake the pain. Soon I would catch myself having thoughts of suicide. I ached in pain for someone to come and help and tell me everything's alright. As I drifted off into my daily thoughts of emptiness, someone stepped in and reached out. They told me they were there for me. I later realized in a world this big, there will always be someone to confide in. I'm so thankful someone came to my rescue and made me feel loved. You do not have to suffer alone. Be the difference in someone's life, and don't let another beautiful life be wasted. Don't wait until it's too late. Know the signs. Give light to someone in need. If you know someone who is suicidal, call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 800-273-TALK.
Welcome back to Gym City tonight. My next guest is COO, I had to make sure I got that right, of Safe House Studios. Please put your hands together for Hayley Carson. I never know what you're going to play when...
I like to surprise you.
Did you not talking to the microphone? I don't need that thing.
It gets in my way.
So before we launch into this, there's actually a connection here.
Yes. Weird.
I,
It's weird.
That's the dead air that you actually explained what the connection is. That's
What?
fine. We'll fix it in post. Hayley, thank you so much for coming on the show.
What?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
So
I am talking.
where to start? We can start with the studio, and I like you had to, like, you have to say COO.
Yes.
Before, you guys know, before we came out here, we're behind the curtain, and she's like, please say COO. I have to say that. Because it's your dad who's
The CEO.
CEO.
Yes.
So how did it come about?
Well, my father has been really, he's been in the music industry since he was 15 years old. Not so much in Dayton, more, LA, Atlanta, New York, wherever. He's always been on the big music scene. And he's worked with tons of notable artists, Mary J. Blige, Jay Holiday, Nicki Minaj.
As a producer, as an artist, as a
producer,
Okay.
at points in his career, as well as in management, artist development, placements. He's pretty much done a little bit of everything in the industry. But as a part of my entering into the industry, as well as just growing my education in our city of Dayton and bringing music to it, we decided to open a studio here together. So that's kind of how that came about.
So how long ago?
We started opening our doors and doing special projects in March.
Okay.
So the whole project of building it and bringing it to fruition was back in October.
So you're Dayton girl through and through.
I am. I was Dayton born and raised. I've lived in Dayton. I've lived in Miamisburg, Kettering, Centerville, pretty much a little bit of everything.
So you're paying taxes everywhere.
Yes, you all have all of my money.
Well, thank you for that. We really
Yes.
appreciate it. That probably
Those
what
roads, those are me. They're not that great though, so you can see how my life is going.
Well, they take a turn in different cities, so it happens. So, where'd you go to high school in?
Miamisburg.
Okay.
And also
Go Vikings.
CTC in Clayton.
I was an Elk, I can't say anything. So growing up around this, was it kind of intimidating, or you're just, hey, that's dad?
Honestly, we, through circumstances.
No, lie to me, please. No, please.
Well, no. Due to circumstances just out of control between all of us and his crazy life and my crazy life, and parents, you know how they can be.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't really have a close relationship, and music is kind of what brought us together. It kind of sparked that growth of our relationship, and it gives us a special bond, deeper than just father and daughter, because, I mean, we're business partners, and, you know, sometimes that's hard.
Yeah,
you know?
I was saying
There's that fight between
that's very Godfather,
dad
doing
and
family
daughter
business.
and, you know, partner and partner.
It's very empire of you.
But we always take the high road, and we always try to, you know, put the business first and all that.
Have you always been on like the management producing side? Do you sing? Do you do anything on the other side of the glass?
My father would love for me to.
I like how you had to take a pause to that.
I do sing. I do, and I enjoy singing, and I play piano and violin and viola and cello and bass.
No, you don't do anything on the other side of the glass. Nothing. I play
don't-
triangle. Thank you.
And I'm sure you're the best triangle player Dayton has ever seen.
You're welcome.
We'll have to have you in sometime.
Be my guest.
As soon as someone requests a triangle, I'm
Which
calling
will
you.
never happen.
Could happen.
The looking glass isn't going to call, and we're not going to do another version of Brandy.
Music is my soul. I thrive from it. It brings me joy. It brings me happiness, and I love the joy and happiness it brings others. So for me, inspiring and helping other people reach their dreams musically is more important to me, because the lifestyle of a musician is not one that I crave.
Right.
But I do crave the lifestyle of kind of guiding people and helping people and being that management and that development and that pathway for them to reach, you know, their dreams, their potential.
That's awesome.
So.
Well, we're not done with you, so you stick around.
All right.
All right. We'll be right back with more Gem City Tonight and Hayley.
It wasn't always like this. My friends were slowly going away. They found other people. And the world was slowly revolving around me. With my classes becoming harder and harder, and the constant stress of applying to college, it seemed like suicide was the answer to all of this. It was so easy to do, right there and then. I could have done it, but someone reached out to me. This person actually cared for me, talked to me, and understood me. Suicide is never the answer. Know the signs, find the words, and reach out.
All right, we're back with Hayley Carson. So, where'd the name come from? That's what I wanted to, especially in the times of what's happening now. Safe House Studios is fairly apropos, but where did it come from?
Yeah, actually, we had a completely different name to begin with, and
Can you say it on air, or we're just skirting that?
No, yeah, we'll just, we
right.
might use it for later ventures.
All
I really
right.
want somebody to steal my beautiful name.
Not a problem.
No. But Safe House, my dad actually came to me one day, and we were really set on our name, and we were both really happy with it. And then he came to me, and he just kind of said, we got to ditch it. I was like, all right. And then he said the name, and I said, okay. And then he said the reasons, which I wholeheartedly agree with. And those are, I mean, music is a place where people go when, you know, they need to get away. And for a lot of people, I think music makes them feel safe. And so we wanted it to be a safe place, a safe space for your, you know, your thoughts, your feelings, your dreams, your hopes, everything to just be able to flow and come out. And we wanted it to encompass that. But since the meaning of it has just gotten so much stronger since our city has gone through everything that it's gone through this year. And it really just, I don't know, it's just really important to me. And I think it's great that, I think the name just worked out really well. And I think that our community needs more safe places, more safe houses. So, you know, I'm glad we went with the name we went with, and it's just, the meaning grows deeper and stronger, and I'm more happy with the decision every day.
I know that music means a lot to me because I double majored in theater and music, and I know that Aimee has. I won't give everything away, but Aimee's got a little something up her sleeve, but it's been an outlet for her, and so but I'm not going to say anything. So, but I have to ask the question: like, what have you seen? Like, what's been happening and meant to you, and the city that you grew up in?
It's kind of been a mixture between heartbreaking and inspiring. You know, first with the tornadoes, to see places that you've frequented, homes of your friends' families, just in shambles, just completely gone.
Right.
And then to speak with the people who are personally experiencing it for themselves, and to see that just complete devastation, it breaks your heart.
Right.
But then you fast forward and you see those moments where everyone stepped in and gave their all and did anything that they could to just help out a neighbor, help out a friend. And you see them just have such a positive outlook on their awful situation. And it's just, you know, it's inspiring. At their worst, they're still more positive and excited about their future than most people are on the regular day.
Right.
And to not take good away from that is just, and then with the shooting and everything that happened in the Oregon district, I mean, you just saw the city come together again, just tenfold. And I think as tragic as everything that has happened has been, I think Dayton is in the best place that it's been in decades. I think the city has really turned around. You know, we're neighbors again.
I was gonna say, we're definitely a lot closer. There's more love. Our last episode, we had Sabrina Cox talk about how it's more of a bear hug, and just acquaintances. You're actually hugging people and talking to them and bridging that gap. And through,
it's a ripple effect. It is. If we continue with this same positive energy and the same loving people instead of spreading hate and spreading ignorance, it's only good can come from it. Only good comes from good.
Sure. So any changing topics and getting happy. Any major projects coming up for Safe House? Anything we should know about, the viewers should know?
There's not any projects that I can discuss at this time.
Ooh, okay.
But, yes, stay tuned. But I can say that going forward, something that's really important to us is the Dayton City Schools, as well as just the youth programs in general. We really have been working hard to develop a game plan to involve after-school programs, to involve even, you know, potentially getting involved with different school districts in the area. Anything that we can do, because I think it's really important, especially young children, to have an outlet. And unfortunately, the music systems in the schools, they're lacking.
Right.
Even from when I was in 6th grade in orchestra, and my parents got divorced and I moved and I didn't have an orchestra anymore.
Right.
And so it was up to me to kind of bridge that gap and keep myself invested in music. And there were times where that was hard.
Yeah.
And anything that we can do to make that easier. And plus, when people have something that they're passionate about and they can find that passion and stick to it, you know, their chances of survival in this world are just so much better. And
You're sitting in my passion, by the way.
what a beautiful passion it is.
Well, thanks to these guys.
And yeah, so I think it's very important for people to have an outlet in music. What's a better outlet than music?
True, right?
Reach into the choir.
Moving your microphone. I'm always going to reach over and talk to you.
I know.
All right, same question we ask everybody who comes on the show.
Yes.
Where are you going? Where's your Zen place? Where are you eating? Where are you drinking? Where's your place in Dayton?
All right. They warned me you were going to ask me
I told you.
And that's very, very hard, so I'm going to give you 3.
All
My
right.
favorite place to eat, 5th Street Brew Pub.
Love it.
Their spicy ghost pepper cheeseburger is out of this world. And my favorite place to drink, Barrel House. Can't beat Barrel House. Plus, they're amazing pillars for the city as well.
Mhm.
Yes. And my
Love
favorite
Gus and
place
Sarah.
to shop and buy raunchy things is Hart Mercantile.
Oh, of course. Of course.
The girls at Hart are amazing.
We
and
love them.
There's I can't find one single good reason not to support Hart because they've supported this community immensely.
Tenfold, definitely. All right, that's it. You're off the hot seat.
I'm still in it.
I know that. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Oh, before we go, how do we find Safe House? Like, is there a website,
Yes.
Facebook?
Our Facebook is Safe House Studios. Due to someone somewhere in Atlanta, our Instagram is Safe House Music Studios. And
Thanks,
our,
ATL.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thanks,
you.
ATL. Same person. That's the reason our website is Safe House Music Studios as well. So you can find us there. Our Facebook's probably the best place to find information on us ongoing. But prices, rates, if you're interested in recording, that's all going to be on our website.
Perfect. All right, it's Hayley Carson from Safe House Studios. Thanks. We'll be right back. Now we act like we're talking.
I'm like 50 years older. Like, I feel so bad.
I want to make sure that all of them kind of Table for 2.
Hey, Ben. There's always somebody who can be there for you. Call 1-800-273-TALK if you need help.
Literally almost fell over. All right, I want to thank everybody for being on the show. Mike Wells, Gina Ferraro, and Hayley Carson. And remember, these shirts are available from iHeart. You can probably order them. There's a lot of them you can do online. Hart Mercantile has them. Many stores do. So, and 100% of the proceeds, generally for all the stores, go to the Dayton Foundation, so the families and everything that's been going on in Dayton. So, speaking of which, remember Dayton, you're not alone. And you never will be. Have a good night.